Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good, best as we can. I know we're all going through Mars retrograde, and Mercury retrograde won't be totally out of the retro shade, out of the shadow, until January 3rd. But I thought what I wanted, well, actually I didn't think, I want to read on Dawning Depends, Chump, Dumpy, Demented little Donnie, or Don Old, because he doesn't like being called old. I'm going to read on today, this is December 17th, what will be his experience? What will he be experiencing from today, December 17th, and I'm going to go all the way out to the end of the month. All right, let's go to New Year's Eve. Because today, and I'm using the Visions of Life Tarot to start out. I'm just going to do a quick Celtic cross, and then I also want to use a deck of character. I should actually get the little box out so I can... Here's the two decks I'll be using. So, today is the meeting of the electors. It's when all the appointed electors from each state meet at the capitals, at their state capitals, and they cast their official votes. So this would be the meeting of the Electoral College. And I want to see how it's going to affect Don Old. And then right around the corner we have Avril Haines' report on the 20th coming through. Should come through the 20th, maybe the 21st, maybe even a day early. We don't know. I think she has to wait until, it's due 45 days after, but if she got it out a day early, I don't think anyone would fault her for that. But 45 days from the election, which puts us at December 20th. And I already did a reading on that, so look for it in my... If you just go on my page, my YouTube page, it'll populate the newest videos first. But I do dailies on the collective, so you're going to have to kind of flip through those too. Just keep scrolling through. So, how's it going to affect you, Donnie boy? How are you going to do? December 17th. Through the 31st. Right there. Oops. Public humiliation. I've always said that's one of his soul lessons to experience this lifetime. It's our Page of Swords. I'm not reading reversals with this deck because it's just so blatantly obvious, but this could be a whistleblower. This could be something coming out in the public level that he just flips out about, and he doesn't realize he's dropped his pants and everybody can see. The challenge, his biggest challenge, is to try and stay centered and balanced. Well, he's never done that. He's never done that. His entire astrological chart is it's mostly fire and air. Very little, if any, no, very little grounding. Fire and air. So he just spews without thinking. And maybe, I could just say, maybe an archangel's going to clock him on the top of his head somehow and say, dude, time is up. Why else does she have that clock? Your time is up. What he's sitting in is the Seven of Cups, major illusion. He thinks everybody loves him, or enough people love him. I don't know. I don't know if he even cares. He's just, what he's been sitting in since the election has been, gotta make sure you see those skinny little legs. Only, I don't think his are, but... The Seven of Cups is our smoke and mirrors card. You know, it's always focusing on the wrong thing and feeling empty no matter what, no matter how much money you have, how much accoutrements or whatever you think is the important thing. It never is unless you really have love. But maybe he's figuring out that it doesn't matter if you win, if you cheated. Now, of course, we know that he only ran to stay out of prison. So, illusions. That's what he's sitting in, major illusions. In the past, we have the Empress, and I know it says, fertility on the card, but I think it's more about, because I'm going to go with the artwork here, it's more about what he's been tempted by, all the things that he's been tempted by. But, it's also, if we do go with a traditional Empress meaning, this would have to do all the women that he's hurt, all of the, just the feminine, basically. I mean, seriously, just the feminine. Trying to act like he doesn't care about Roe v. Wade, but then taking credit for bringing it down. Right? Jeez. Oh. Okay, talk about the can of whoop ass upside the head. We have the death card. Now, I have really strict rules. I don't read death unless there's also the physical death. I don't read unless there's also the Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords, or Eight of Swords might be a coma. Four of Swords or the Ten of Swords, yeah, that's down. But there's a big change. There's some big change. And I mean, this guy got his hands caught in the not the cookie jar, the piggy bank. Right? Or he thought he was saving up, and because the guy is just they are such grifters. Just the amount of crap that they create for people to buy. Really, it's just a vehicle for money laundering. They're all vehicles for money laundering. That's all it is. So, okay. Near future. Last time I used this deck, this card came through for him. He's got a date with destiny. This is the Wheel of Fortune. I didn't, allow for reversals, but he's handicapped. She's sitting in a wheelchair there. Sorry if you hear a lot of noise outside. They're building a housing tract on the other side of me over here. Okay, so what he's attracting is, now here we have the Four of Swords combined with the Death card. In this deck it's called Isolation, but you know how it usually looks in the traditional tarot. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith, the guy's laying down, three swords hanging over him. There's the church window outside, or the church glass, something on the other side. So, but if it's not that, it's a death of some type where he really is in isolation. Wouldn't that be great to see him in, I don't know, Leavenworth or something? Because we're talking treasonous traitor, Trump. Two of Pentacles. I think he's just the one that's always putting himself out there for, just put some money in my hat, man, And I'm just going to clock this as the lead up. Usually this is my external events. So he's running out of time. He needs to get his priorities in order, and what he's been doing so far has been to appoint these ridiculous people who are not at all equipped, and some of them major felons, and a lot of grifters, that's for sure. And then family members. Yes, just lovely daughter-in-laws or ex-fiancé, daughter-in-law, whatever. Jeez. It's like, take a look at Guilfoyle's past photos, and you're like, whoa. But, you know, it is all one big circus. So here's the outcome. Bondage. The Devil card. Well, that's quite interesting. So, let's see what was on the bottom just for the heck of it. Queen of Cups, Devil on his shoulder, the Lover's card, relationships kind of torn in two. Not, I don't know. Maybe people joined at the hip. I think this has to do with how he manipulates people. I would read this card reversed and look at how he manipulates his cult followers, and they're all joined at the hip, making bad decisions. So they're going to be affected too as well. This looks like a terrible, terrible next couple of weeks for him, I would have to say. Wow. Just to reiterate a little bit with the Devil card here, we're talking, you know, with the outcome, this would be the place where, I think again I should just go with some of the artwork here, the tabulations of votes, all of that, and maybe there's some absolute proof, because he is, I would think he's very afraid of people that are continuing to search for where the votes went, how they were flipped. There's so much I could say about that, but I already have over and over and over again. Every single video I've done, I keep getting all the hacking ever since the election. And I was very open to it not being that way. Okay, so here's the deck of character. It's organized into categories. Oops, let me get this out of the way here. The deck of character has three categories. It's the characters, the places, characters, tools, and places. So let me bring that lens down a little bit. Okay. So let's go with the characters and ask. So same thing. How's it going to go for him this week? So I don't know that I need to ask about who he's going to be hanging out with. What's he going to do? I mean, he and Leon or Alania. It's like they would need some type of special surgery to get Leon out from up in his, I'll say grill, but all the way up from the back end. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern. You know. So we know what kind of characters he hangs out with. We know I would get the demon. I know I would get the explorer, which is, you know, Elon. Yeah, I know what I would get. So I'm not going to ask from that angle because I've done that so many times before. This time I'm going to ask, what's coming down on him? Who are the people that are going to be bringing something down, if there's anything coming down on him, between December 17th and the 31st? And I just heard 5 cards. Okay, so there is my Elon card. Yeah, he's the big whale of a catch. Who's going to be mothering him with written words, nurturing him with written words, and the devotees, the devoted ones. Okay, so You know, on another level, it's possible that this has to do with people who are devoted to the truth, and the poet, just going by the book here, could be our Constitution, nurturing the Constitution in a really big way, and maybe even exploring ways to bring him down. Okay, what tools will be used over the next, well, through the 31st? What tools will be used against him? What tools will be used? There. Poop. People that are just sitting back, maybe observing, but also speaking up and flipping on him because they don't like what they're seeing in the mirror. Huh, okay, that's interesting. What place is he going to wind up? Woo! Maybe we should just stop here. What place will he wind up by New Year's Eve? What place will he wind up? Oh my goodness, this guy. Plateau, tornado, meadow, fetal position, and then back under construction. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I still want to go with those two cards that came through, you know, the jail cell and what was the other one? When I split the deck. Oh, the dumpster. The dumpster, yeah, right here. Dumpster and the jail cell. But it might be, these are all, because places has to do with well, I wanted to see like physical places where he would wind up. But these could be his inner realm. Because unless he leaves and and reincarnates really quickly, because, you know, he's got to catch a ride on a new mom, he wouldn't actually physically wind up in a womb. But this describes to me like his mental state. You know, like sometimes he's coasting along and everything's great, or things are just kind of flat, and then he is like that bloviating bag of hot air, and all kinds of stuff is coming at him, and he's in that place of just a whirlwind. And then other times he's got his golf courses. You know, that's what the meadow, I think, would be. And then other times I think he's probably curled up in the fetal position, like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? So, and then to be under construction. And if we look at the cards that are knighting together, so this would be the Constitution that is coming down on him, and he has to think in a new way or get things going in a different way because, you know, 14th Amendment, Section 3 could do it. Biden could drop the PEDs and declare, you know, a war was placed on our election. I mean, Romania is a part of NATO. That can happen. NATO's, what is it, Section 5 or whatever? Article 5? I think it's Article 5. So there's that. These two knighting together makes me feel like Elon causes major problems for him. And then Trump feels like, where's my mommy? And wants to be back in the womb. But he really only is devoted to himself. There's no one else that Trump really, really ever cares about. If Elon is a bit of a nurturing force to Trump, he just shits on him, right? And then Trump gets to look in a mirror and go, what have I gotten myself into? In his more sane moments, I would think, if he has very many. Okay. But his literal, well, the people who are alive and well and breathing are exploring different options. And I think maybe even some of the people that voted for him are thinking like, oh no, can we just please start over? You know, knighting the center card out. Because they are in this place. I mean, we're all seeing what his choices are, who the choices are to surround himself by. And it's pretty dark and pretty grim and very scary for a lot of people. I mean, my goodness. Farmers, women that may get pregnant. It's pretty dark. Okay, so that's the best I can do with this deck. Let's use, trying to decide, maybe I should use the Kipper. Yeah, let's do that. Let's use the Kipper because that deck is really good for, oh, here it is. It's excellent for so it's Ciro Marchetti's Kipper. But I do have there are other Kipper decks, but you guys are used to this one. But anyway, what I was thinking is this deck is really good for legal issues. Legal and political issues. It's a very good, well, it's good. It's good for, I do a lot of personal readings with it too because people like it. It's good for figuring out the future. Okay. That feels clear. All right. Donald John Trump. The old guy. Interesting, he didn't put Don Jr. or Eric in any positions of power. Oh, my goodness. But, you know, Jared Kushner's dad, convicted felon, that he, commuted his sentence or whatever. He got him out of prison. What was his name? Charles Kushner. Put him in some cabinet position. I can't remember what. But, you know, this isn't over. This is not over. Okay. Donald. How's it going to go for you in the next couple of weeks? December 17th through the 31st. There. Change. That's interesting. Okay. Ruh-roh. Ooh. Change in his position. Wow. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Oops, I gotta move him up a little bit. There he is. This is all sneaking up behind him. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, he's not physically doing well. I think this is AOC right here. Okay. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Okay, so he and Melania are at least finally looking at each other because they haven't been in that position ever. I've never seen them like that before. Okay. All right. Now this is some good information here. Okay. Well, our change card can just be like coming and going, and but it also can be a major job change. Which could take him down from the position that he's in based on these other cards, because you want to look at the cards surrounding. Well, surrounding, we have, this has always been my J6 committee card. He was impeached for January 6th insurrection. So there's changes as to that. I don't know who this mature man is yet, but the people cards, except for the main two characters, they stand in cards for several people. So, but this has been my Jack Smith card. This has been my January 6th card, especially a January 6th committee card. And so we have changes based on a large number of people who are supportive to the legal situations that he has put us all in, and the legal situation that he is in. He is a convicted felon. Some people call him number 34 because he does have, 34 felony counts. And it was just yesterday that news came out that Judge Juan Merchan said he is not dropping the case in New York because none of that had anything to do, any bearing with official acts. It was all about unofficial acts. So that can just sit there, even if he were to get in, which I'm still not convinced he will. But even if he did, the charges could just sit there and wait. I forget the name of what it's called. Oh, something starts with a P. But anyway, it can be just sitting there waiting and put on hold, and but there's a legal name for it anyway. And when he gets out and he's no longer president, then but again, oh my God, it makes me sick to even say that, because I just don't feel like that's even right that he ever will be. But if he were to, the charges are there waiting for him as soon as he got out. So, but this is usually my legal card. And so there's some legal issues changing his situation and his reputation. And again, change to his form of work. He doesn't really work, we know that. This, to me, feels like the meetings of electors in all the different states. And he isn't going to like what comes through. So it has to do with his reputation. And here we have, this could be the electors' submissions that they're going to, they're trying to certify votes, and it looks to me like there could be problems. We have the official act of the certifications here. And I know AOC, looks like AOC, and it could also be just young women. Well, yeah. I think it's AOC. I really think this is her, because she knows that he's the liar and the cheater. She's been waiting in the background. She is his enemy. That's what this card is all about, like a hidden enemy in the background. She has been very concerned, and all this is weighing down on her, and she's wanting to level him because, her and her entire, her generation, can you imagine being their age, childbearing years, and thinking of the whole United States being under like a friggin' kind of Handmaid's Tale, Gilead regime? No, thank you. And then meanwhile, all the OBGYNs would run, because who wants to be in that kind of a situation? So no women have doctors for those parts. But anyway, okay, so focusing in on the electors, there are complaints, or this is the legal process that they'll be working on, and because this is the meeting and the work, and here are the votes, here are the people, and this is AOC, but also, creative young women who know what they want, and they don't want to be under this political regime here that he's, standing behind. They don't want to be under Project 2025 or 47's whatever, he's got his 47. Forget that. We don't want any of that. But what we do have here, and I don't know if Jack Smith has gone back home or not, but this doesn't have to be Jack Smith. This could just be any stability that, it's a political, these are laws, these are rules, this could even be the military. And there's all of these cards are sneaking up behind him, so there's something that can level him and his reputation and cause change. And then here he is in a crisis point. This is also a card of psychological disorders, and this is all coming up behind him, and the only place he has to go is to Melania. He's not in a powerful position here, and neither is she. Opening up the reading, this could be Susie Wiles. This is an older woman who's supportive, but she's also a grifter. And he does have a community like that around him. So yeah, we know that there's nothing new there. The Four Corners reveal that he is, how it's going to go for him the next couple of weeks, is he's not going to feel good at all. This is being tortured with worry and stress. And so he goes to these supportive people who seem to be on his side, but now they're very concerned as well. When you're looking for mental health in the deck, and granted, there's like, I think 44 cards or some, maybe there's only 40, I don't know, in this deck, and I do have 21 of them laid out here. But here are the mental illness cards right here. This one's a lot like the snake in the Lennies, and this one, like they're all right. They all appeared, and they usually do every time I read on him. So, but this is some kind of a new problem getting to him, and it has to do, I think, with the electors. I think maybe the electors are going to throw some shade at him and slow things down. It looks to me that way. Okay, so let's try looking at it from a different angle. This could be this could be Avril Haines and her report that comes out that shows that he cheated, and there's a wealth of information from a lot of different sources here. That's interesting. Whomever this woman is, if we're looking at it from a legal standpoint, she's very, very, very concerned. And there's evidence. The message card is evidence. Evidence of cheating. That changes his reputation. Okay, that's interesting. And maybe it's all about, maybe this card is just saying it's official. There's evidence that he cheated. And now what are they going to do about it? Because the adjudication card has to do with, well, sometimes it's just complaints, but it's definitely examining things. And you have to pass, this guy or this board decides for you. And it knights to the official person card, which are the rules and regulations of our country. This card could be likened to the little tower card in the Lennies. So, okay, that's interesting. The message of concern card is knighting to this gal, which I do think we could say is Avril Haines, the Director of National Intelligence, and also knighting up here to all the legal issues. And this would be our Elon Musk card as well in Trump's world. And it knights to the despair card, which is like, uh-oh. Oh crap. And it also knights over here to the adjudication card, which is things will be examined. So that's a telling little triangle there, or whatever you call it, square. Triangle here and a triangle up here, but interesting. And all this work by the legal communities are here. Okay, so now I'm super curious. I really was just going to do the one or two little ones, but now let's just go ahead and do the Lennies. Because I won't be reading on him again until next year. Unless something, well, yeah, I should never say never. Let me go ahead and use this one. So this one is the Vintage Lenormand by Root Weaver. And I thought it was out of print, but it turns out that it's available on Etsy, so you guys can get this deck. It's a really, really good, it's the best Lenny deck, I would say, to learn from, because the symbolism, the photos, or the artwork, the images, the symbology is just right there. There's no guessing what the card is. There's nothing more frustrating when you've got a deck that's like a man holding a dog, and the dog looks bigger than the man. Or, I'm sorry, the man looks bigger than the dog, and you're like, "What is this?" It's the dog card. There shouldn't be a man on the dog card, or a lady, or any other. You can put a dog and a cat together. Nah, they're different meanings. Okay, clear. Let's get that out. Donald John Trump, Sr., old men. What will be your life experience December 17th through the 31st? What will be coming down the pike for you? Okay, a lot of hot air, a lot of high emotion and lunacy, a lot of obstacles to your success, to the way you would navigate, maybe some neurological issues there, toxicity and minimization of your power and your heart. You still have loyalty among those people that you pay, or who have something to take from you, people that feel they can, get gifts from you. Elon, right? But there's abuse. Okay. Financial, transactional, conversations, yeah, of course. Improvement? Or no, change. that is in betrayal. I'm mirroring the ends together. Okay, here's our government and a decision. Whoa. Oh yeah, because of the at least two different countries that that we know hacked into the election. That's interesting. This has been my Elon card in the past, but it is a card of, something's wrong. It's this guy's the worst. He's the fraud. He's the scam, agent. He's the con artist. He's the liar. He's the spy. He's the manipulator. He's the blackmailer. He's an assassin. In political readings. In personal readings, I read it very differently. It's just, work and trying to get stuff done and being, thinking, cleverly. Something is just, there's an ending there. Do I have room? Barely. Okay. Oh, here. Okay, so there he is. Maybe he's going to try to get out of Dodge. Yeah, there's the old man. There are all the agreements and the secrets. Okay. Yeah, it's all framed in. Okay, good. I'm glad you can see that there. All right, so maybe some successful transactions, conversations that are somehow recorded, because with the Tower, there's so much in this card when it comes to institutions, on one level, the boundaries, but then also like things that collect data, and it's right here. Here's the data. But here are the documents. On one level, this is our Constitution and the loyalty to our Constitution. That is key and super important, these cards knighting together. But also, the Tower card has to do with authority. And it could be, it's possible that it's at the 19th of the month in only 2 days. It's possible. But it could also be January 19th. That would go beyond the scope of this reading, I would think. But what's coming down on him is a minimization of his power and success. And there's change. There are new changes that are very important. Russia's involved. His power and his protection is involved. Something comes out, within the next cycle. So this could be by the end of the month, which is a new moon. And it's in Capricorn. So it could be by the new moon, he's totally blocked from his star position that was successful in the past, because there's information that comes out from foreign sources. And this is him. So the four corners show the allies in Russia. There's contracts and agreement with Russia that he's involved in. And it was secret, but maybe that book is opened, and maybe it is on December 26th. When it comes to the book and predicting timing, it's usually you have to wait and see and get all the facts first. and the timing is usually unknown. But because it's the answer card, and I was, asking, I would, maybe something by December 26th. He is tied. The anchor is always tied to something. So you look at the surrounding cards. He is tied. And if you want to learn how to read, if you want all the, the ways that I do it, in the way that I learned from Rana George, and I learned from Tony Poole, the card geek, and I learned from Alexander. I can't remember his last name. It starts with an M. But anyway, I give you everything I have in my lessons. If you want to take the lessons, you just go to the membership, and it's at the lessons level. So anyway, and you can learn how to do a grand tableau as well. But anyhow, this would be Trump tied to Leon and to other betrayers and to something that's wrong and deceitful and very, very cunning. And this could be him in his elderly years getting the book thrown at him, because the anchor right next to the book is like, it's in. This is a dangerous position for him. When it comes to hacking, this is our card. When it comes to decisions and something being cut, this is our card. So this could be him and Elon being cut from their, place where they thought they were anchored in. But complications come through, betrayal comes through. They'll think it's they're being betrayed, but the truth is their betrayal will be released to the public. This is what I feel here. And then all the ways that Elon abused our government and our Constitution. Trump's heart is sunk. His little bitty heart will be hurting. It's because something's wrong and he knows it, and he's too old to do anything about it. This does not look good. This does not look good at all. All of the alliances against our country, I think, will end up being revealed in due time. Maybe not by the 26th of December, but in due time. Important, the solution to the peace of our country, we can possibly have by the end of the year. But again, it's all about Trump, Russia. Just like, Nancy Pelosi said, everything leads to Putin. When it comes, every time she'd look into anything Trump was doing, it would always lead to Putin. That is not something you want to have. Which is why I cannot believe that enough people voted to elect him. I just don't, I can't. There's too much. And why does the hacking card come through? Why does the abusive card come through? Why does Elon come through every friggin' time? And the snake, and the ship, and the bear, and the clover. The opportunistic two countries, at least two major countries, that they can prove the transactions. And we may have it by the end of the month, by the new moon at the end of this year, end of this month. Wow. Okay. But obstacles to loyalty, obstacles to further abuse, obstacles to whipping, things in that gift him so that he can grift more and more, obstacles to that, and then this big whack that cuts off maybe that rope or that tie. that has anchored, he thought that he was anchored in with. Yeah. Wow. You know what? The only thing I haven't done, how far? Oh my God, this is turning into like an hour reading. But at least it'll all be here and all in one spot. I'm going to go back to this deck again, the Visions of Life. Let's just ask, how's he feeling? Because he knows what he did. How's he feeling, and how will he be feeling? I was asking what's going to happen to him, but I didn't ask how is he feeling. How's he feeling the rest of the month? Right there. He's sorry? Nah. He just doesn't like what he's seeing. That's all. There we go. He doesn't like what he's seeing online. Yeah, he's worried about those big old maters being thrown at his head. That's his biggest challenge. Okay. Oh no. Is he compassionate? No. Is he feeling compassion? No. There's no way. He is the one that's going to be feeling like, can you guys give me some compassion? No. Profit and loss. He's still going to keep hoping he's a star. But no, that big old finger's coming out. And he's just going to wish that he could either drink or drug himself away. Drink or drug, just numb himself out. And then, if he's got some beautiful women to look at, then he feels better. He's going to be educated. And the 5 of Pentacles. Wow. Loss, rejection. Maybe this is Baron that is rejecting him. Maybe Baron figures out what's going on. Wow. Let's see what was at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, running for the cupcakes. Getting the rug pulled out from under him. Woo! Here's the Tower card in this deck. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, I guess if I were to keep going, we've got stress and then motivation just to grift as much as he possibly can for the length of time that he has left. But the big old tomato there and the Tower card, that's quite telling. So is the 5 of Pentacles. So, but he is crazy, and so, his brain would go all over the place. Still feeling hopeful, but then there's so much criticism, and maybe he just projects it back outward. But to have the 9 of Swords, this is, traditionally a pretty awful card to have. And it's like remember in the Kipper, here, I'll show you real quick. It's the same, this one. Same meaning. That is the same meaning as the 9 of Swords. And this came through at the heart of the reading. And I think this one was at one of the corners, if I remember. I think it was down here. So, okay. Well, that's all I have. Thanks, you guys. And I'll be back, but if you don't watch another political reading on him, just know that I'm wishing you the best, happiest of holidays and the best Christmas ever. But I'm sure we'll have a better one in the future. Okay, bye.